Hello and welcome along to a live pre-match chat ahead of Leeds United's trip to the King Power Stadium to take on Leicester City. We are live right now on YouTube and Facebook, so if you are joining us, then thank you very much for joining. Make sure to like the video, share and follow and all the rest of it, and get your comments in, get your score predictions in ahead of this big game. I'm NkGhTg, and joining me is website writer Johnny Chick. Johnny, hello mate.
Hello mate, how are you?
I'm very well, all things considered. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's a bit of a free hit, so yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, you say free hit. Is that the feeling that we should take into games like this against, because Leicester, they're third in the league, fourth in the league, they're high flying at the moment, and is that the feeling that we should take into games like this? That is a free hit, not because I know Leeds United fans, I think going into most games we think right, we should be winning this with Leeds United, but we should go into these games with little expectation really, and as you say, it's a free hit today.
Yeah, I think obviously because Leicester aren't really considered one of the big six in a sense, like the top big six teams, but I think they are a top six side. Like I think the thing with Leicester is now they've won a league and they're consistently finishing in the top places, like they're in the Europa League. Really unlucky to miss out on the Champions League last season just because they fell off a bit to the end. I think it is a free hit. Like they're third place in the league, we're 12th. We're a newly promoted side. They're a very consistent side in the Premier League. So I think it should be a free hit, and I'd definitely take a point today. It's not saying that we can't get a result today. I just think that if we do come away with a loss like we did in the last time we played them, it's not the end of the world if it was like a Newcastle like we lost to.
Yeah. So I think there's something in the game today for Leeds United, but yeah, I'd certainly take a point. But Luke Emery feels though Leeds United can win today, 3-2, going for a Bamford hat-trick. That's certainly an ambitious prediction. I'll certainly take that indeed. But we'll move straight into the lineups then. So for Leeds United, Meslier starts in goal. Of course, back from we believe he had COVID. He didn't really say anything too much about it. But Luke Ayling starts. Pascal Struijk is in there, replacing Diego Llorente. We'll get onto Llorente in a second. Liam Cooper, the captain, of course, starts. Alioski at left back, and then Calvin Phillips, Stuart Dallas, Jack Harrison, Rodrigo, Rafinha, and Bamford on the bench is Casilla, Cresswell, Davis, Shackleton, Click, Costa, Roberts, Hernandez, and Pervada. So, no Diego Llorente. Of course, he suffered a hamstring injury in midweek. He could be out for up to a month now, could Llorente. Unfortunate news that, and it's not going his way, is it, this season, Johnny?
No, not at all. Not at all. I didn't realise he sort of had he had quite a few injuries before we bought him, which is obviously a risk you take when you're buying someone like that who's sort of known for having injuries. He came on. Did he make his first appearance against Chelsea? Was it? I think he came on obviously because
came on for Robin Koch.
Robin Koch went into that, was it?
Yeah.
Came on, and then I don't think he didn't go off in that game, but then he came off with an injury from that, and then it's just so annoying because the sparks that we've seen from him and the bits we've seen from him, I actually thought were quite good in a weird way. Like I thought his touches, he drove forward quite a bit against Newcastle in the 8 minutes that he played. I thought he was okay. So yeah, it's not going right for him at all. At least it's only a month, but we do have a couple of midweek games in that sort of period as well. So he's going to be out for a little bit of time. But I've got full faith in Pascal Struijk to do a decent job.
Yeah, so do I. I'm a big fan of Pascal Struijk, and I certainly think he'll do a good job today. But Ventes, he is a big miss because he's a Spain international, and he's another option that we had, but now we don't have him for up to a month now. And Robin Koch's still out, so just hope that no defenders get suspended or injured today and for the next few games. But best of luck to Vente with his injury. Hopefully he does come back stronger. But it's unfortunate. He's we signed him when he was injured. It's just what Leeds United do, isn't it? We just sign players who are injured all the time. And then, of course, picked up an injury after that Chelsea game. And it's unfortunate. So hopefully Llorente does come back stronger. But of course, Robin Koch, Adam Forshaw and Gaetano Bavardi are still out. But Leeds, of course, win in the last game, bounced back, winning 2-1 away at Newcastle on Tuesday night. The first win of the new year. Now, it wasn't the most convincing of performances, I don't think, especially in that second half. But, we got the 3 points in the end nonetheless.
Yeah, I usually have faith when we go ahead under Marcelo Bielsa that we're just going to go on and win the game, even though we were in the Premier League and Newcastle are, quite had been in the Premier League a while and they're a Premier League outfit. I don't know. I just felt like we were going to go on and win the game. In that second half, I've never had so many sort of like heart attacks and thinking that they were going to score in my life. The amount of times St. Maximin just dribbled past our players when he came on. Even Almiron was having a go at it as well. And when they equalised, I must admit, I thought the game was either going to be a draw or a Newcastle win. I don't know. I just couldn't really see us getting into that game. But we took our chances. We were clinical for once, which is great because we only had like 4 shots or something like that. I think we only had 2 on target as well compared to their 22 shots they had or something ridiculous like that. But like you say, it's the 3 points that matters really, isn't it? They're a team who are near us in the table. Well, it's not near us in the table, but it was just nice to get away from them, 3 points away from the relegation zone. And yeah, we're staying 12th, but I think it's a great position to be in.
Yeah, certainly. I was just expecting Leeds. I think the best we could do this season was stay up, and we're comfortably mid-table. Yeah. So there's nothing to be upset about, in my opinion. We're comfortably in 12 points above the relegation zone. I think we are going to be fine this season. But no, a big win in midweek against Newcastle, and I certainly thought that they were going to win when they equalised. Newcastle equalised. I thought, well, St. Maximin's on, but Luke Ayling did a good job on him. We had 3 men on him at one point. He's a really good player, St. Maximin. But no, Leeds United did a job in midweek. Of course, Jack Harrison got the winning goal, and he starts today. And hopefully, because you see the graphic, and Rafinha and Harrison's names have swapped around. So hopefully that doesn't mean that Jack Harrison is starting on the left and Jack Harrison on the right and Rafinha on the left, because against Burnley that happened and it didn't quite work out, did it?
No, I mean, that's great detective work that you've actually managed to find out. I didn't notice their names switching around like that. But no, I don't understand why they switched against Burnley. It just didn't work at all. Like, Harrison does so much better when he's on the left-hand side. I think he actually has a decent link up with Alioski as well when he's at left back. I don't know. I feel like the sort of they've been on the left-hand side together for a number of years now. And I just think they've built up a lot better chemistry. And I think Rafinha and Ayling is a great duo to have on that right-hand side. So yeah, I don't get why they switched. I get them potentially switching like in-game a couple of times just to catch the opposition out. But when they literally didn't move against Burnley, it was just really frustrating to watch.
Yeah. Well, we were poor against Burnley, and I don't think that that switch worked, switching Harrison and Rafinha around. And hopefully that's not the case today, because I mean, Jack Harrison does a good job on the right hand side, I think, when he plays there. But he has that chemistry with Alioski on the left. I think he's brilliant on the left. Of course, scored in midweek. Rafinha scored in midweek, playing on the right, and Rafinha cutting in onto his left foot. He is so dangerous. Like, it was that Burnley game, they were showing before the game highlights of Rafinha, and it was always him cutting inside onto his left foot, and then he started on the left. I was like, why? Because he does his best job when he starts from the right and cutting in. So hopefully Rafinha is on the right this game. Big hello to Phil Sheezy. And he says, have you sorted your set pieces issue yet? Have Leeds United sorted their set pieces issue yet, Johnny?
I think so. Well, for now, touch wood, because was the last time we conceded to a set piece, was it Newcastle, the 5-2 when Kieran Clark scored? I want to say that might not be right.
No, Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham, of course, yeah. So yeah, whether we have sorted them out or not, not too sure. But in terms of their aerial ability today, I don't know if Fofana and Evans are the tallest of centre backs. I prefer them to Soyuncu playing, because I think he's more of an aerial threat. I don't think they're actually the tallest side, to be honest, Leicester. So, I mean, it's all going to come out to a Leicester corner, and they're probably going to score it today. But I think set piece issues, we've sorted them out at the moment, but I think only time will tell, really, when we come up against the tall teams like Everton in the week, where they've got like Mina and Godfrey and Keane who can head the ball quite well.
Yeah. I think just time will tell. We haven't conceded from a set piece for a few games, but hopefully it continues. And Phil Sheezy also says that Leeds will be fine this season. Will Harrison sign permanently? Well, there is that clause in his contract. I think it's £10 million. I'll certainly sign Jack Harrison for £10 million.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, definitely. I think first season, if you just said 10 million, I'd have been like, oh, I don't know about that. But last season, he was on fire, and then he's come into this season and has scored a couple of goals, to be fair to him. The one against Liverpool. He only scores stunners as well, I've realised. All his goals he scores are crackers. He never really scores a tap-in for Leeds, because I like the one against Newcastle was amazing. The West Brom one was fantastic, and the one against Newcastle, again, was really good. So, yeah, I think
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think Jack Harrison's a great player, and Phil Shees thinks that Leeds will be fine. Phil Shees is a West Ham fan, so he thinks that Leeds will be fine, and we should be. But of course, 3 points today would certainly cement our place in mid-table, and as I say, 12 points above the relegation zone right now. 3 points would certainly be a big step in the right direction to Premier League safety. But it won't be easy for Leeds United today, coming up against the Leicester team, who are in top form, having gone unbeaten in the last 9 games in all competitions. 7 of those have come in the Premier League. Only league leaders Manchester City are on a longer unbeaten run in the top flight. But Leicester, though, are without midfielder Wilfred Ndidi after he picked up a hamstring injury against Everton in midweek, and top scorer Jamie Vardy is still recovering after hernia surgery, so he is also out. And Vardy, top goal scorer for them this season, 11 goals this season. Of course, scored against Leeds at Ellen Road when they beat us 4-1. So how big of a loss is Vardy for Leicester, and how much of an advantage is that for Leeds today?
Massive, because Vardy really scares me. When in that game at Ellen Road, he was everywhere. I think he got the assist for Barnes' goal. He had like a couple of shots. I don't know if it was his header that then parried out for Tielemans to score, and he was only really didn't score another one because he was substituted off when they scored the 4th goal that was a penalty. So yeah, it's a massive loss for them. But in the last couple of games that they've played without him, they've shown they don't really miss him too much. I think in the cup against Brentford, they scored 3 times. Tielemans can score, I think he's got 5 goals this season. Maddison's been on fire recently as well. He's been taking the goal scoring duties. I think, is it Perez is up front for them today? I think.
Well, we'll have a look. Leicester's lineup: Kasper Schmeichel in goal, of course, former Leeds United player. Castagna, Fofana, Johnny Evans, despite him going off in midweek with an eye issue. He starts today. You've got Justin, Mendy, Tielemans, Maddison, Albrighton, Barnes, and Perez. So, Barnes is a threat. Harvey Barnes, certainly, of course, did well against Leeds when he was at West Brom a few seasons ago. But Perez up front for Leicester today.
Yeah, no, I haven't really watched much of Ayoze Perez. I think him or Iheanacho is a bit of a threat up front, but I think it's the players in behind him who are going to cause us problems. Like I say, Barnes always plays well against us. It'll probably come up in commentary that he was once on our books, was he, or something, and he was having a trial for us. I think. I remember that gets mentioned every time he plays.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
So wouldn't be surprised if they say that today. But Maddison is such a good creative player. I think there's always that thing with him and Jack Grealish. I think recently Jack Grealish has been a lot better, but in the last couple of games, Maddison's really taken the reins when Vardy's not been in the side. Barnes, Maddison, Tielemans. I think I don't know if that Under's on the bench as well. He made a really nice assist when he played at Ellen Road as well. Not too sure.
I can't really see the subs bench because Leicester, with their team lineup graphic, it's just a video going through just the starting 11. So you need to click on a link. Not doing that. Leicester certainly have some good players playing today. Yuri Tielemans, as you mentioned there, scored in midweek in their 1-1 draw at Everton. 5 goals and 2 assists for him this season in the league. He's certainly a player to watch, isn't he, in midfield?
Yeah, definitely. Like, he got a brace at Ellen Road. And to say he's a bit of a more like a defensive midfielder than an attacking midfielder, that's a fantastic return from him. Like, he's been so consistent for them all season. He's definitely one of the most underrated players in the league, in my opinion. To have him feeding the likes of Barnes and Maddison and Perez is definitely going to be a threat. But I think not having Ndidi alongside him may sort of cause him to stay back a little bit more and not be as more offensive, which could be an advantage to us. But like you say, he's a quality player, and he's definitely someone that we may miss the likes of Mateus Klick to try and keep up with him in the midfield. Maybe if Rodrigo stays forward, then we may have a bit of problems on the counter attack with him.
Yeah, certainly. But even if Tielemans does have to drop back because Indeed is out, they've got James Maddison. 6 goals for him and 2 assists in the league this season. 8 goals in all competitions. James Maddison's a fantastic player. I'm a big fan of James Maddison. He's a great footballer on the pitch, and he talks well in his interviews. Yeah. He's certainly a top player, as James Maddison, isn't he?
Yeah, like you say, those interviews are really good. He just speaks to the interviewer like he's like his mate or something in the local pub. Do you know what I mean? He's a fantastic, it seems like a real fantastic person. And I remember when he was at Norwich, a bit like Leeds with Toby Nye. I think he like Liam Cooper does, sort of just bonded relationship with the sort of children there. He seems like a fantastic bloke, and I really do like him. Obviously, I don't really want him to do that well today, but like you say, in the last couple of games, he's come out with some absolute crackers of goals as well. He, like Harrison, only really seems to score stunners as well. So, he can shoot from long range. They've got that long range threat with him. So he's definitely someone we've got to keep quiet, because I think he came off the bench at Ellen Road as well. He didn't start in that one. And he came off and did well in there. So to have 90 minutes against him today is going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, it certainly will be. And you mentioned then Click not starting for Leeds United. The second game in a row he's not started, which is interesting, isn't it? But Mateusz Click, he hasn't been on top of his, on his top form, on his top game for a number of weeks. And do you think it was the right call to drop him in midweek and drop him again today?
I think it's a really hard question to answer, because obviously in midweek it worked. When he came on, I thought he did all right. I think it's just because he's always started for Leeds under Bielsa, and now he's dropped. It just seems really weird. But in terms of like, is it deserved that he's been dropped? He hasn't been performing as well. So ultimately, he does be given a right to be dropped. But I just think we may start to get overrun potentially in midfield, like we saw against Newcastle, because he does offer us that sort of box-to-box midfield play. But I can justify him not starting. I can, because he just hasn't been putting in those performances, and hopefully it sort of gives him a longer rest and he can come back and work his way into the starting 11. But as long as Leeds keep winning without him in the starting 11, I just can't see Bielsa bringing him in, even if he deserves to be playing over the other players who are playing. Bielsa loves to keep a winning formula. So as long as Leeds keep winning, I don't know how he's going to get back into the starting 11.
Yeah, I can't see how he's going to get back in, and I can certainly justify why he was dropped, because he was poor, and he was poor when he came off the bench on Tuesday night against Newcastle. And to answer Foshizi's question here, marquee signing for Leeds United in the summer, I certainly think a midfielder is probably needed in the summer. We needed a midfielder last summer, to be fair. That's why we were going after Michael Cuisance, but of course that fell. That transfer kind of went away late in the day. But certainly midfielder is needed in the summer. Do you not think?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think I've got a real passion for just playing the players who got us promoted. I'd be sort of happy to just keep the starting 11 we've got at the moment, but I do think that midfield position needs strengthening. In terms of, I do have that. I do get that loads with the new haircut. He's not wrong at all. But no, I feel like maybe a striker as well potentially needed as well. Bamford hasn't scored. I think it's 3 in his last 11, maybe. He scored. I think I saw a stat, so potentially another striker as well needed. But definitely a midfielder needed as well, because in Calvin Phillips' position, we've only got him. And in the attacking midfield, we're playing Rodrigo, who's not really an attacking midfielder. So yeah, that's definitely a position we need to strengthen him.
Yeah, absolutely. Foshizi also asked the aim for next season. I don't know. Probably just stay up again, maybe. I don't really know. If we stay up the season, then probably reevaluate in the summer. But Ian Mozer today says this could go either way: win well or get beaten by a couple. Yeah, it certainly could go one of two ways, which any game could. Which involves Leeds United. What would your dream Leeds United signing be?
Does it have to be realistic, or can it be?
No idea. Realistic. Go on.
Realistically, that's a really good question. In terms of saying that midfield position, maybe someone like, I don't know. I'm thinking Championship, maybe say Todd Cantwell had a decent season last season, or Emi Buendia or someone like that, who's in the lower leagues, who probably deserves to be playing in the Premier League. If we could get someone like Maddison in, someone like that would be fantastic. But I can't see him moving to Leeds at this moment in time in the form he's in and where he's at in his career. But someone like that, some of that ilk would be great. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. Emi Buendia springs to mind when you talk about realistic dream signings. Of course, a dream signing is the likes of Lionel Messi and Ronaldo and Goretzka at Bayern Munich and Thiago and whatnot. But realistically, certainly Emi Buendia in midfield. But Back onto today's game. It's certainly going to be a tough game for Leeds United. Of course, in the reverse fixture. Back in November, Leicester won 4-1. Harvey Barnes, Jamie Vardy, and Yuri Tielemans scoring twice in that game. Leicester are looking to do the league double over Leeds United for the first time since the 2004-05 season, when we were both in the Championship. So, losing 4-1 is not great, but you look at recent form. Leicester drew 1-1 with Everton. We beat Everton, so surely on paper it's a Leeds United win.
Yeah, exactly. You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so. That 4-1 game was so weird. It was so weird because if Pablo scores that goal that hits the bar, we're right back in it at 2-2, and then they just scored. They scored two really early goals and two really late goals, and it was such a weird game, such a weird Monday night that was. That was near. Wasn't that near the 4-1 loss to Palace as well? That was either before or after that as well.
Yeah, Palace was after that.
Yeah, it was a really bad run of form, the 2-4-1s, like the 8-2 on aggregate, but. Hopefully we don't see anything like that today because that was such a strange game. It really just, I don't know how that, I don't remember any other attacks they had apart from the 4 goals they scored. It was such a strange game. But yeah, I like Leicester are a very good team. We're going to do, we'll do well to come away with either a point or 3 points today. But yeah, hopefully we can get something.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, and you mentioned Leeds United's chances in that 4-1 loss. Bamford had that really good chance in the first couple of minutes, which if we go 1-0 ahead that early on, then it could be a completely different game. But now, hopefully, it's not a repeat from what we saw in November today, and hopefully Leeds United can get something. Of course, on Leeds United's last visit to the King Power Stadium in October 2017, it was in the EFL Cup. We ended up losing 3-1, but Pablo Hernandez scored a great goal for Leeds United in that game. Right. So, if Pablo Hernandez comes on, he certainly knows how to score a goal at the King Power. But Leeds United haven't beaten Leicester. Haven't beaten Leicester since November 2012, when Adam Clayton scored in a 1-0 win. We've only beaten twice in the last 16 meetings, so history is certainly not on our side today. And Leicester haven't beaten in the past 5 meetings in all competitions, winning the last 3. So history is not on our side. But Johnny, what are you expecting from this game? What's your score prediction? And I mean, there should be plenty of goals today, shouldn't there?
Yeah, you'd like to think so. If that 4-1's anything to go off, as honest prediction or like a realistic prediction. I'd say I think it'll be a 2-2 draw. I'd definitely take a point from this. And in terms of expectations, I think all Leeds fans should be taking a point. Like we're playing, like you say, the only team who's got a better form than them in the league this season is City, who look like they're going to go on and win the league. So this is the Champions League side in Leicester. So if we can come away with anything, it'd be great. Just nothing like the Man United game. Nothing like 2 goals in 2 minutes from like Mendy in defensive midfield, like something stupid like that. And if we could just hold them out and we can get them on the counter attack, like something I was thinking about when you were talking about the 4-1 defeat at Ellen Road. We got Rafinha this time because obviously he didn't start. It was Helder Costa who started. I think we've got a decent chance of getting something that. But I think if we don't win, the win in midweek against Newcastle was definitely needed. That's 3 points collected there, so we can sort of take a free hit into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. That the 3 points in midweek is absolutely massive when because we should be beating teams like that anyway. Teams like Newcastle in and around us, we need to be beating them really. And it's good that we won. We go into this game. It's a free hit for Leeds United. If we lost in midweek, then you're thinking, well, we need a point at least. But no, it's a complete free hit today. I've got no expectations heading into a game like this. As you say, Leicester are top side, third in the league. They're fighting for Champions League place, and I certainly think that they will get it to the top side of Leicester. And no expectations at all. I think that's sensible going into a game like this because if we win, then great. But if we get battered, which can so easily happen, then you're expecting it. So you're not too bothered, to be honest. So I think that there will be plenty of goals, but I think there's something in it for Leeds. I'll go the same score prediction as you, really, 2-2. I'll certainly take a point, but if Leeds United get the win, then unbelievable. But it's certainly going to be a tough game. And as Luke Emery says, was it Luke Emery? Where's the comment? Ian Moser rather says. It could go either way. We could win well or get beaten by a couple of goals. So certainly an interesting game today. But we'll leave it there. Kickoff is in 20 minutes. So, Johnny, thank you very much for joining me as always. Appreciate it.
No worries, thank you. Thank you very much for the comment that said I look like Robin Koch as well. Very much a compliment, thank you. Thank you,
Donna
Donny.
Clayforth. Johnny looks like Robin Koch. Yeah.
Thank you.
How you do with the hair and stuff? Yeah,
I'll put that in my Twitter bio. I might change it now, actually. Like Robin Koch doppelganger or whatever.
Robin Koch lookalike. Yeah,
exactly.
Just screen grab that comment and put it in your Twitter header.
Yeah, I'll do it in the Twitter header before kickoff. I'll get it done.
There you go. But where can people find you on Twitter and elsewhere, Johnny?
On Twitter, I'm Johnny Chick with 2 underscores. Another 2 underscores, a bit of a pain. Going to be on live after the game on the Bremner Square podcast as well on Leeds TV. And on YouTube as well, Johnny Chick. I'm trying to post more on there, but we'll maybe get a Leicester review out of there as well. So go subscribe on there if you want as well. Thank you very much.
Make sure to go follow Johnny. All the links will be in the video description, and check out the All Things Leeds blog as well. Johnny's been doing some fantastic writing on there recently, so go over and check that out. But we'll leave it there. Thank you very much to all those who have joined. If you didn't join, make sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, comment. You know what to do. Until next time, take care and enjoy the game.